The theme park. High-speed thrills, big drops, loops and wobbly knees. But this year there's a new kind of ride opening up, one that uses virtual reality to deliver its thrills. We sent Lindsay Woods to Thorpe Park near London to find out what's new. Better hold on.
This is one of Britain's top places for thrill seekers. The thing is, I'm not a thrill seeker, and this is not my idea of a good time.
Okay. I'll be honest, I am kind of nervous right now. I do not like roller coasters at all, but this is the epitome of an old school roller coaster ride. It's the world's first 10 looping roller coaster. I can literally feel my heart beating right now.
These rides might only last a minute or so. For me, though, that's more than enough.
That was terrifying. But there are new rides that are blurring the lines between what's real and what's not.
Instead of building another roller coaster, Thorpe Park will soon be opening this. It's a ghost train designed by Derren, an illusionist specializing in mind control. He's using virtual reality to deliver the ride's thrills.
It's many layered, so there's VR, virtual reality is one level to it. There's also a lot of physical involvement and all sorts of other things. At its heart, this is a scary, thrilling, exciting re-envisioning of a ghost train. That's what it is. I would love people to come off and be trying to get their heads around exactly what happened.
Now, because I grew up in California, I had no idea what a ghost train was, but here in the UK, they're a fixture at almost every fairground.
This is a traditional ghost train, a rickety ride through Halloween tricks without the treats.
I think ghost trains are just such a missed opportunity. They're always hokey and old-fashioned and creaky and sort of hilarious and just never scary. So the idea of it just totally starting from scratch, it felt like an absolute no-brainer to take that and do something with it, hoping that people like me would still have the same delight in the idea of a ghost train and in the idea of one that was something different and wasn't just what ghost trains embarrassingly tend to be.
The ride is not yet open to the public, though we're able to get in for a sneak peek of the ghost train. Though I did have to sign this to promise to keep everything behind this curtain hush-hush.
This is all we're allowed to show you. The outside of a Victorian railway carriage apparently hanging in the air. But what awaits on the other side of the door is something very different. This is part of the reason we can't show you behind that door. The 3 years of work and the millions of pounds spent developing what's inside. When you're on board, you wear virtual reality goggles, which take you into a dark reimagining of the world. This ride takes 13 minutes, and you have to be 13 to go on. So if you're younger than 13 or easily scared, close your eyes now. Without giving away the secrets, once you're on board, characters talk to you.
The danger comes not from the heavens.
Real people shout at you.
They're coming. They're coming.
Creatures from nightmares creep up on you.
It comes from the bowels of the earth.
Some of it's real, some of it isn't. Meet the man in charge of making all the mysteries come alive. He's found it hard going.
Derren really wanted to have realistic characters that you could engage with and that they needed to be really believable. So we went through several different phases of how we were going to pull that off. And the truth is the technology isn't quite there yet. There's lots of people trying to do different things to make this work and to solve this problem. But I think there's a lot still to do with the future of VR to really free up people like us to deliver the creative vision we want to deliver.
So far, the gates of the ghost train have stayed closed. Inside, the illusions are still being worked on. The park says these queues won't fill with visitors until the ride is 100% ready. But if you can't wait to strap on the goggles for a virtual reality thrill, you do have options. At Alton Towers in England's Midlands, an old roller coaster has been reinvented with VR goggles. It takes you for a spin into space, then through an alien world on Earth. And at Six Flags in Los Angeles, another renovated coaster puts you in the cockpit of a fighter jet. But to get a thrill from virtual reality, do you have to spend on this scale? This man thinks not. Brendan Walker designs thrills for a living, and from his workshop in East London, devised a VR experience with a pair of goggles and a child swing.
When you think you're only swinging maybe a metre in the real world, you actually swing 1.2 metres in the virtual world, and I keep amplifying that. But there's a tipping point where they suddenly look down and realising they're swinging way too high. So it actually turned from what was quite a pleasant ride into something which was kind of a little bit scary.
Right.
And it's that point that their expressions change from pleasure and joy to kind of fear.
Do you think VR attractions could ever replace traditional rides?
VR will never replace thrill rides like roller coasters, anything that moves our body physically in space. We're animals, we're built to respond to physical stimulation. VR can add a veneer of storytelling, a veneer of different types of visual input, but very quickly we'll become bored.
But that could actually be something that makes virtual reality a better idea for theme parks. The story doesn't always have to stay the same.
The advantage of this is that we can change up that storyline, mix it up, add something extra, add new elements to it. When you've got a traditional roller coaster made of your metal, it's very then difficult to change that theme or change the experience. This one, we can change that quite readily with the content that we've got.
So virtual reality might be the next big thing, but if you ask me, there's only one way to end the day at the fun fair.
Oh my God, how fun it is just to slam into people. Something that you might not be able to do with a VR